Hello guys, and welcome back to another video on the BMW today. Now then, in this video I want to fully drain and replace the fluid or oil in my manual gearbox. Now then, I have a 2008 BMW E60 520d and I've had some problems, especially getting it into reverse and first gear when cold. Now obviously once the transmission gets up to temperature, once the oil thins out a little bit, it's generally easier to get it into gear. But when it's cold, it's quite hard to get it into first and reverse. Not only that, I would say 2 or 3 times over the last few weeks or so, when I have been shifting quite quickly, so I've gone from first to second to third, when I put it into third, it has stayed in for like 2 seconds or so, and then it's popped out. And obviously the revs have shot up because I've been accelerating. And so now there's obviously a few possible causes for this. It could be the synchros in my gearbox. They could have gone, they could be on their way out, or it could be in need of a transmission fluid flush. So obviously, the easier of the two jobs is going to be the transmission fluid flush. Now I've been meaning to do it for quite a long time now. My car has covered 120,000 miles. It's supposed to be lifetime fluid. It's not supposed to need replacing, especially on a manual transmission. I really don't agree with lifetime, especially if you want your car and your components to last. So we're going to be replacing it today. Now then, I've actually got the correct grade transmission oil. It's pretty thick stuff. It is 75W GL4. I don't really know what the GL4 means, but essentially the correct specification in terms of BMW language is MTF LT3. That is the correct specification oil that you need for your gearbox. So this is from a company called Westway Lubricants, and it says a fully synthetic gear oil designed for use in BMW/Mini boxes, where an MTF LT3 oil is specified. Now I know MTF3 fluid is specified for my gearbox, so that's what we're going to be replacing today. And not only are we going to be replacing the fluid, the oil, we're also going to be fitting 2 new plugs. So I have some new Febby Bilstein plugs. There is a fill plug and a drain plug on this gearbox, so I'm quite lucky in that respect. I actually just drained and replaced the fluid in my differential, and there's not actually a drain plug on that, only a fill plug. So because there is a drain and a fill plug on this gearbox, it's going to make things a little bit easier. Okay then, so let's get outside, let's get the car up in the air, and then we'll see what we're working with. Okay then, so we have the car up in the air on 4 axle stands, and we actually need the car to be relatively level. So if I stick a spirit level underneath, we will see that it's actually not too far off. Well, that's good enough for what we need to do today. Now the reason that you need it level is because when it comes to filling up the gearbox with new oil, you essentially stop filling it when the fluid spills out. Now if for whatever reason it was at an angle, you would have an incorrect oil level, same as if you was checking your engine oil. If you're on a slope, then you will have an inaccurate oil level. So we need to be as level as possible when refilling the fluid up in the gearbox. Okay then, so the first thing we need to do before we can actually access the gearbox is to remove this plastic cover, which is held in by a load of these 8mm screws, which are more than likely rusted like this one is, and we just need to remove all them. This cover can drop down and then we will have access to the gearbox itself, which you can see up there. Okay then, so that is the cover removed, and that's probably the hardest part on this job, is because I have supported the front subframe with axle stands, and where the two cover meet, so where this cover meets the under engine cover, or the engine belly cover, whatever you want to call it, because this is where they meet, there's actually screws that go through the both of them, so I just had to jack the one side up just to kind of lever this out to separate the two different covers. But with that being said, this is now removed and we now have access to the transmission. Okay then, so once you have located your transmission, next thing we need to do is locate both of the plugs. So here is the drain plug, and on the side is the fill plug. Now I do actually have brand new plugs if for whatever reason one of these gets rounded. You know, I will be replacing them anyway, so that is all good. I'm covered in that respect. Now when it comes to draining the fluid, you would just think, you know, just go ahead and remove this. But what you want to do is actually remove the fill plug first, because if you go ahead and remove the drain plug, but then for whatever reason you can't remove the fill plug, you're then left with a drained gearbox with no fluid in, and you have now no way to fill it up. So just go ahead and remove the fill plug first, and then proceed and removing the drain plug, and then just, you know, go ahead and drain it like you would with the engine. So just, you know, position a pan underneath and then just let it drain. Okay then, so we're going to go ahead and remove the fill plug. We might have a little bit of fluid dripping out here, so I've got the pan underneath. No, it doesn't seem like anything. That's what the plug looks like. Let's go ahead and remove the drain plug now. There we go. Oh, this is a an 8mm Allen key, by the way. Oh god, that is disgusting. That does not look nice at all. Ugh. Splashing. Okay, so that is fully drained now. Just going to clean that up. And we will install the new drain plug with new seal on. And now with the new drain plug in and tightened down, we need to refill now. Well, seems to be going in. Wow, is that bottle nearly empty? There it is. It's like 300 millilitres left of that bottle. So we have 2 litres in total, which I think it holds just less than that. That's dripping, but I'm pretty sure that's just from what's on the pipe, because we haven't even put a litre in yet. Right, let's change over bottles. Damn, this stuff stinks. There we go. Oh, there we go. I think it's dripping. Yeah, we're dripping. Let's get the new plug in. Now I'm just going to give the whole area a nice little clean down, just to make our job a little bit more complete. But that is the drain and refill of the gearbox done. Okay then, so here's the finished product. We have a brand new drain plug, brand new fill plug, and almost 2 litres of fresh fluid in there. And here is a look at what the old fluid looks like. So, as you can see, very, very dirty. Transmission fluid should not look like that. That is very, very dirty and contaminated. Okay then, so as you just saw there, that was just me going through all of the gears, including reverse, and I actually just took it out for a nice little drive as well, like sort of 10-15 minutes, just to get the gearbox nice and warm. And what I want to say is the gear shifts themselves definitely feel a lot smoother, and I don't know if it's like placebo effect or not. I don't know if it's just all in my head. But when it comes to changing gears, it seems to engage gear. It seems to grab onto the gear a lot easier and a lot firmer. You know, if anyone's done this before and they can confirm that this is the case, or it should be the case, then please do let me know. It definitely feels like, you know, it seems a lot notchier, and it just feels like you just wants to grab onto the gear a lot better. Now, whether or not I'm going to have the issue when it comes to, you know, the third gear popping out, obviously time will tell. I've got to wait, you know, over the next few weeks and do some hard driving and then see if it happens again. But definitely putting it into first or reverse now is a hell of a lot easier. So I'm definitely glad that I have replaced the gearbox fluid. You guys saw how dirty it was. It's definitely not something that does last forever. You know, BMW, you know, their lifetime thing is usually like 100,000 miles. You know, you probably are good for 100,000 miles, but anything above that, then I would recommend replacing it. Yeah, obviously if you guys want to try this out yourself, you know, give it a go. It's really not that difficult, but I would recommend replacing both of the plugs if you do have to, along with 2 litres of the new fluid. And yeah, that's really all there is to it, to be honest. Okay then, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to give this video a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, because I've got so much more BMW content on the way, and I'll see you guys in that next video. Peace!